Y'all ever feel like you're stuck in between decisions in your life? Like, there are things you should do, things you could be doing, things you want to do, things you feel like you're called to do, yet you can't quite put your foot on the gas pedal yet for whatever reason. And that reason usually is because of you just coming up with all of the reasons why it wouldn't work out, and all the hypotheticals and the what ifs and what could go wrong. And we spend so much time in this spin cycle just rehearsing in our minds all the possible things that could go wrong, or all the reasons why we're not qualified, or why we don't think that this thing we would succeed in it, or it would actually work out. And we really just give ourselves like this massive headache, because my thing is, if we're not going to do it, then let's just stop dreaming about it. Let's stop thinking about it. Let's stop envisioning it. Let's stop torturing ourselves with the idea of, tag, that would be dope, or I could do this, or I really would like to do this, and this, that, and the third. But it's like, if we're going to stay in that spin cycle, in that in-between phase of just being stuck in the in-between of the decision making, then don't even torture yourself. Like, why put ourselves through that kind of turmoil for nothing? We've all heard that famous saying of like, the richest place, in the world is the cemetery, because that's where most dreams are. Most people, they die without ever stepping into their biggest, potential. And, but why even dream about it? And if we're never going to take action, and that is the point that I'm trying to make, that I want us to get into the habit of taking action. Like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't process whatever it is that you want to do. I'm not saying you shouldn't plan, and you shouldn't weigh your options and balance the scale, and, think about things that can go wrong so you can try to prevent or try to have backups. I'm not saying any of that, but I'm saying don't get stuck there, because that is a very, very dangerous place to be. When you have a decision that you want to make, that you should make, that you want to make, but you go from wanting to make the decision, or knowing you have to make the decision, to, okay, now there's just a whole bunch of stuff in my way holding me back, and I just got to get from here to there. But you're stuck in between, because you already know what you want to do. You already know where you want to go. You already know what it is that you need to be doing, but you're stuck in that middle phase, that in-between phase of, okay, but I don't know how, like, I don't know, but what if this? And I mean, could I really do this? And there are so many others out there that are already doing this, and it's oversaturated, and this, and it's that. And it's like, you just thinking of all these reasons why it wouldn't work out. Then just don't even think about it. Forget about that dream if that's the case. Now, I don't want anybody to give up on their dream, but I'm saying, if you're gonna just torture yourself with all of this and never step into it, then why give yourself the headache to begin with? But of course, I want us to go after our dreams, and it doesn't even have to be anything big. That's the crazy thing. Whenever we thinking about making impacts or making certain decisions in our lives, we feel like if it doesn't have fireworks, like, it's not meaningful. And that is the farthest thing from the truth. The farthest thing from the truth. Sometimes the deepest thing you can do is something small. And any millionaire, any successful person can tell you that. The biggest thing you can do is something small, because how you get to your big point of your life started from you doing something small, right? Like, how you got to the position that you're in at your job, at your company, or whatever, is by doing the small things from the very beginning. How you ended up saving a whole lot of money for this particular project is by putting away a little bit each time. You know, we get so caught up in like, oh, it has to be big. We get so caught up in looking and envisioning the final product, the final picture, that it almost terrifies us to the point where it keeps us captive, right? It imprisons us in our minds because we're looking at this thing that we want to do and this thing we want to achieve, and we're like, dang, that would be dope, that would be awesome, or yeah, I need to save up this much, or I need to do this, and I need to go here, and I want to whatever. But when you're looking at your current state and how far you are from where you want to actually go, it scares you. So then it cripples you. So then you stay in that in-between phase. Nah, it's time for us to get up and to just take action. Just take the action. Take the necessary requirements. If it means you got to take one class this whole semester, you'll be further along in 1 to 2 years' time than you would have been if you would have never taken the one class in the first place. I get it. You know, just the idea of like, oh, just only taking one class. Oh my gosh, like I want to be done with school, blah, 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 blah. But you're not going to be any closer if you don't at least take that one class. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, putting away however much it is that you want to put away. If you're struggling to make ends meet and you're like, I want to get to this point, but, you know, I barely make enough. Okay, but in the enough that you make, right? You barely make enough, but in the enough that you make, how much can you put away? Is it $1 a day? Is it, you know, like $10 a month? It doesn't matter, because it's like if you do the little bit, the amount that you'll have at the end of the mark, right? It's going to be much more than what you started out with if you would have never stepped out and did anything to begin with. So we need to stop getting stuck in the in-between phases of our lives, because it is too dangerous. It has robbed way too many of us of our dreams, of our passions, our talents, of where we need to be in this life. And I think that we are so terrified of, okay, if we make a decision and then we make the wrong decision, or the decision that we make is not the one that gets us to where we want to be, that it's over. Like in our minds, that's how we see it. Like, all right, it's done. All right, I screwed up. I messed up. It's over. And that's what the enemy wants you to believe. He wants you to believe that if you make a wrong turn, or that if you attempt something and you fail at it, that's it. There's no other way. Like you're so damaged and now you're worse than where you were to begin with. And that's not true, because God is a God of provision, right? He will always have a provision, even for our mess ups, even for our wrong turns and our screw ups. So he's not looking at us expecting perfection from us. He wants us to just try. He wants us to, you know, just analyze our situation and then just do, right? And then if he needs to redirect us, he will redirect our course. But when we just get so crippled by the thought of messing up, it gets us no closer to where we want to be. And that's not pleasing God at all. God will much rather we try, and then he picks us up and redirects us, rather than us just never trying at all. So I want us to get very, very, very intentional about the stage that we find ourselves in our lives, and to just do. Just do. Do that small thing. Do that little thing. Do that small step that seems so insignificant. That seems so just like, yeah, so insignificant and so minute. A lot of times when you look back at your life and you see where you are, whether it's, you know, the house that you're in, the car that you have, the money that you're making, the point of your life that you are, whatever. If you can look back, you will see that it took a bunch of tiny little steps, a bunch of tiny little decisions that allow you to be at the place that you are right now. It wasn't just this big, pow, you know, like thing that you did and then boom, you reach this level of success. You're at the pinnacle point of your life where, you know, you're just so, no. Most times it's in the small things. So do that small thing that's been in your mind, and I guarantee you will see progression. Okay? So If this video helped you guys in any way, shape, or form, don't forget to like, comment, share, and hit that subscribe button. Catch you on the next one. Bye.